Hi Stampers, it's Elizabeth from StampScrapAndMore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada. And I'm going to call this video a one-take wonder because I'm doing it in one shot. So if there's goofs or gaffes, I'm sorry. But I didn't want to do multiple videos to try to get it right, and I don't edit my videos. So today we're going to make this card. And this is a card that we did yesterday at the Maple Leaf Stampers Team Stamp Day. And we got together for an afternoon of creativity and fun. And I love this card, and I especially love this die. And if you're not sure where it comes from, because it's not in any of the catalogs, I'm going to show you. And we're going to play with some celebration items. We're going to play with the product, this item from the product coordination release. So let's get over to the tabletop and we will show you what we're going to play with. So the coordination product release flyer came out the end of January, and it's good from February 4th to March 31st, and it coordinates with a bunch of product that is in the mini catalog and or celebration. So what we're going to play with is the Sending Flowers die, which is down here. Technically, it coordinates with the Sending You Thoughts stamp set, but honestly, it stands alone on its own. As long as you have sentiments that can fit into this window, into these two banner windows, you can use this anytime with anything. It doesn't necessarily coordinate with that stamp set. For instance, today we're going to be using a sentiment from Itty Bitty Greetings. We're going to make a Mother's Day card. And yesterday we used the sentiment from Timeless Tulips. So don't hesitate on this, and it's $37, and it's in the coordination product release flyer. If you need any more information, let me know and I will certainly get that to you. Now we're going to play with the designer series paper that's from Celebration. I'm going to flip it over, make sure I get the name right. It's called Pleased as Punch designer series paper, and this is why I love Stampin' Up! It coordinates with Balmy Blue, Blushing Bride, Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, Crushed Curry, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Petal Pink, Pool Party, and Whisper White. So let's check out why this designer series paper is awesome. So this is free in Canada with a $60 purchase before shipping and taxes. But you get 3 sheets of the same pattern. So this is the umbrella pattern, and there are 1, 2, 3 sheets of it. But folks, what makes this so special? It coordinates with the umbrella builder punch, which is on page 42 of the mini catalog. So this umbrella stamp punches out that, this umbrella shape punches out that, and this the umbrella handle punches out that. Does not get any easier than that. Now the back side of this is just as impressive for the umbrella builder punch because it's raindrops. I love this. It's a very neutral background with the raindrops on it. So this designer series paper is pretty awesome. We've got 3 sheets of this, and I don't have the punch, but it coordinates with the Heart Punch Pack, which is on page 10 of the mini catalog. So this is the Heart Punch Pack. And then the back side is this Blushing Bride gingham. And that's what we're going to use today. So you may think, well, I don't need any heart paper because Valentine's Day is over. Oh, sorry. Use the back side. No excuse. I'm going to give you a reason to use the back. And you get 3 sheets of that. Oh, I know. I get so excited. I love this paper. This coordinates with, yep, the Small Bloom Punch, which is on page 13 of Celebration. So this is a free item with a $120 purchase, and it coordinates with the Bloom Punch. Doesn't get any easier. You don't even need the stamp set. You can just punch out all these blooms and create a card using them. And the back side is this fun striped pattern. And then you get 3 sheets of that as well. And then the last sheet, you get 3 sheets of this. And yep, you've guessed it, folks. This coordinates with the Tulip Builder Punch. So you've got the tulip and you've got the leaves. And I love the watercolor look of this paper. And so you get 3 sheets of the Tulip Builder Punch, the tulip paper. And on the back side, you've got this very neutral green, granny apple green color. So that is the designer series paper. And one last time, it is called the Pleased as Punch designer series paper. And every sheet coordinates with the punch that's either in Celebration or the mini catalog. So you can't go wrong with that. So we are going to make this card today, and we're changing up the pattern oh so slightly. I've already cut out some of the elements that we need, and this is the die. So this is the die, and I've already cut it out, and you're going to ask me what size it is, aren't you? Let me get my ruler. It's 4 by 4.5. So it's 4 by 4.5. This is your standard card size, and it's thick whisper white, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, scored in half to make 4.25 by 5.5. This is the matted size, which is going to be 4 by 5.25. I've already cut out this super awesome banner punch, not punch, but banner die. This is the one. I love the stitched edging on it. And then also in this same die set is this die that die cuts out a bunch of flowers. How can I do this? There we go. It's either too bright in here or too dark. So you've got a big and a small bloom punch, bloom flower, and then a big and a small, like a daffodil. And so I've punched out or die cut a bunch of them in Daffodil Delight, Pool Party, Calypso Coral, and Highland Heather. And we're going to create this card using these colors because I want it to coordinate with this. And I thought this would make a super cute Mother's Day card. So I'm just going to start off by, adhering the designer series paper to the front of the card. And today is Family Day well, I don't want to say Canada because I don't think all provinces have it, but a lot of provinces have Family Day. So it's a stat holiday that's in the middle of winter, and it's just winter's so long here, and they want to give people an opportunity to spend time with their families and to enjoy the cold. I'm not one to enjoy the cold, so I'm stamping. And now I'm going to take the old olive and I'm going to color in all of the leaves of the old olive. Oops. Oh, something fell. And some of my blends need to be replaced. So I might switch up this blend. So we're coloring in all the stems. And is this the dark? No, it's the light. Let me start with the dark. I'm going to start with the dark, and I'm just going to put it in towards the bottom edges, just adding a little bit of depth in there. Old olive is probably the one that I use the most often. Oops, and then there's one up here. And I have another set of old olive. There it is. Actually, I have 2 more sets of old olive. Like I said, it's one that I use the most often. Here, this is a better set. I find that by the time it's not that it's run out of ink, it's just the nibs. So I like using them to fill in big spaces, like the ones that are the nibs have kind of gone shot on them. I use them a lot in my classes, and sometimes they're not as well taken care of as I take care of them. So I'm just coloring in, and the darker blend that I used, I'm just coloring it in and blending it into the rest of the stem. I may have to go back over it a few times. And it's just to give it a little bit of depth so that it's not so flat. Is that a technical term? Oh, I just had a thought. If you wanted to You could use the Wink of Stella on the flowers too. Oh, that would be an idea. I know, don't you like watching people color? I'm just trying to do this really quick. And you know there's the color lifter so that if you go off the edge that or onto a spot that doesn't need coloring or should be white or a different color, you can take the color lifter and remove some of that color off. Okay, and then there we go. We've got, and you can see how I've got different colors of the old olive on there, and that's just intentional so that it has a little bit of depth to it. Okay, and now we're going to color the rest in a combination of Daffodil Delight, Highland Heather, Calypso Coral, and Pool Party. And you know why we're doing that, because all those colors coordinate and are in that color in the same color family as the designer series paper. And there's no, I'm just guessing at colors. I'm going to have a dark Pool Party, a couple of the tulips in dark Pool Party, and I'm going to use the light Calypso Coral for this one, and I'm using light because it's for the Calypso Coral because it's a bit of a darker color, and same with the Highland Heather. I'm going to use the light Highland Heather. And I'm going to do this one in Highland Heather too. And, you know, every card is going to be different because you can do whatever combination you want. And then I think we need a big, what kind of flower is this? I'm going to call it a blossom because I really don't know what kind of flower it is. And I'm going to do this one. And I'm going to use the dark Calypso Coral because I need a little bit of darkness, because the sentiment we're going to stamp is in the dark, is in Calypso Coral. So I want to bring some of that color in. Here we go. You can see it coming to life now. It's popping, and I'm going to do this one over here as well. And let's use the light Daffodil Delight to brighten it up just a little bit. And I've got one more. What color should, oh, I'm going to use the purple again. I'm going to use the dark Highland Heather for this last one down here. This is pretty. Okay, so that is the masterpiece. Okay, so now we're going to mount it on this card, on the card front, and we're going to use dimensionals, and I'm going to put dimensionals on the four corners. I'm also going to put one on either side here, and I also, this is just a personal thing, I'm going to put a dimensional on this big flower, that big flower, and that big flower, just to stabilize the flowers when, I'm just looking for my dimensionals, just to stabilize the flowers a bit, so that it's not too floppy. I had dimensionals on my table. Here we go. There we go. And I've run out of the small dimensionals, so I'll have to do some cutting of this one. Scissors. Cut a dimensional in half, put one down on one side and the other on the other side. And now I'm also going to use just some of the edges. And I'm going to use this one. And don't worry about the dimensional covering up the hole and seeing it on the back side, because we're going to use a rhinestone in those. And again, it's just to give it a little pop, give it a little bit of bling. Because you know me, every card needs bling. Well, not every card. If you're sending a sympathy card, you don't want bling on a sympathy card. Okay. So, and now I'm going to mount it on the front. Take off all of those, the backs from the dimensionals. I love being home and being able to spend time creating and crafting. It puts me into it relaxes me and puts me into such a happy place. Okay. Oh, now this card, this top layer is flush left and right, and then even north and south. So I'm just going to lay it down. There we go. And see, so this is what I mean, like these blooms are not attached, but I think if you don't attach these three, it kind of just stabilizes it just a little bit. Okay, so now what I've done is taken die cut out a bunch of the flowers, and it's totally up to you what you want to do. So if you wanted to, you could pop that up just a little bit, or not pop it up. Yeah, you can pop it up actually. Oh yeah, let's pop it up. So I'm going to use another piece of a dimensional, and I'm going to pop this up a little bit. Oh yeah. See, I've just popped it up a little bit. And I'm going to pop up this one a little bit too, because it's kind of off the edge there. So I'm going to pop it up. And yeah, you really have to, if you don't have the mini dimensionals, you really got to cut these down. There we go. Nope, it's too big. Sorry, it was too big. I didn't cut enough off. Okay. And now with the other ones, you can put them in the background. I'm going to get my snail, my not snail, my Tombow glue. And so this is just going to be, do I want a purple one there? I'm going to want a purple one there. And these are going to be flat. I want a sunflower back here. A little dot of glue. And I need some color up here. And I know that there's no stems on the bottom of them, but you're actually putting them behind flowers, so you know, there could be a stem behind the flower, right? And I think I need this one here. This is going to be a field, a meadow of flowers. Okay. And there we go. Now we've got lots of flowers in there. And now I'm going to put rhinestones on all of the ones that have dimensionals behind them. So yes, I'm using a little bit of Tombow glue because I just want to make sure there's a little hole there, and I want to make sure that the rhinestones don't come off. And where is my bucket of rhinestones? Okay. And this card's going to have bling, 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 bling. This one here. And then the last thing we're going to do is the sentiment. And the sentiment I'm going to do in the Stamparatus because I want to make sure I got the sucker straight. Oops. Sorry, it kind of moved on me. I should get the other end of the pickup tool that has the pointy end. Oops, oh, the pointy end's in here. Okay, and one last one. There we go. Now see the bling on the flowers? We need one more. We need one more. So I'm going to put one back here. Because, you know, everything should be done in odds, right? It just looks more aesthetically pleasing to your eye. I didn't put glue there. But... okay. Now, so there's the Oh, this is going to be a Happy Mother's Day card. I'm going to save these all for another card, so don't toss those away. Okay, so I've got the Stamparatus here. And I'm going to put this down. And this is Happy Mother's Day. Oh, the back on there. Like that. And I'm putting it more towards the right because I'm going to put a bow on the other side. And Calypso Coral ink. I had it out, folks. I thought I did. There it is. And ink up the stamp. And there we go. And I want it a little bit darker. The bonus of the Stamparatus is I can go back over it. There we go. Oh, that's so clean. Actually, I should have done this first so that it would dry. And I'm going to get out some of the linen thread in my bucket of thread here. And I'm going to make a little bow. Yesterday at Team Stamp Day, it's amazing how many people don't like making bows or they need a fork or whatever. This is just a simple one loop bow. And you know, if it's not right, you just take it apart and do it over again. And then you play with the left and right. And this is just going to go on there like that with some Tombow glue. So let's put this on. And I want this popped up. Everything for me is popped up. So this is going to be, so this is popped up once, right? And so this is popped up. So it's going to be on the same level as that. So we're okay to pop it up. But make sure you only put the dimensionals on the bottom left and right hand side so that it doesn't stick up here where it's not supposed to be. And I'm just going to cut a dimensional in half. Okay. Oh, you guys didn't. I put on the top right. Duh. Told you this is going to be a one take wonder because I wasn't going to redo it. There we go. Now it's better. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I love it. And then I'm just going to use a little dot of, you can use a glue dot, but Tombow works too. And I'm just going to put in that. And I'm going to hold it just to cure it, and I'm going to cut the strings off a little bit. Always cut extra. Bad demonstrator. There we go. There's the super sweet Mother's Day card. Isn't that sweet? And you can make it anything. You can, thinking of you, happy birthday, but any small sentiment that would fit into that banner will work. So I hope you enjoyed this card. And again, it is using the Sending Flowers die set that is in the product coordination product release flyer. And it's really this card up here, and I've just changed it up using a designer series paper that I had on hand, and so that you could use up the back of the heart flower, the heart in the celebration designer series paper. All right, have a great day, and I'm coming back up. Have a great day, and if you're in Canada, enjoy your family day, and we'll talk to you again soon.